Hello and welcome to day 15 of 24 recipes till Christmas. Today we're making Torta Húmida de Laranja, orange cake roll. This cake is very popular in Portugal during this time because of the abundance of oranges. Super simple to make, but is going to be a very impressive dessert at your Christmas table. So let's get into the ingredients. We're gonna need 3 oranges. I'm using Valencia oranges just because I find that they're more juicier than the navel oranges. We're gonna zest them and we're gonna need the juice of 3 oranges. We have some butter, unsalted butter, and we have cornstarch. We also gonna need some sugar and eggs at room temperature. This cake is gonna come together super quick. Also gonna show you, we're gonna need a jelly roll cake pan. This is, let me see, it's 10 by 15. You can also use a 9 by 13 pan. You don't wanna use a 9 by 9 or anything bigger than this because that's gonna affect the texture of your cake. Jelly roll pan is going to be perfect for that, or a 9 by 13 pan. Let's get going. Bora cozinhar. To start, we're going to melt our butter. You can also melt the butter in the microwave. I'm going to melt it in a little saucepan. So let's go ahead and melt our butter. And then we're going to add the cornstarch to it. I also have my oven heating at 350. Once your butter is melted, all you want to do is just melt it. We're not browning it or anything. We just want to melt it. We're going to add in our cornstarch and stir it and get all the lumps out. All we're doing is adding in our cornstarch and we just stir it up and we're creating this paste, and we want to make sure that we get rid of any of the lumps. Now we're going to set our butter and cornstarch aside, and we are going to add our sugar to a bowl, a big bowl, and we're going to zest our oranges into the sugar. So when you're zesting an orange, you want to make sure that you don't get any of the white part, because the white is going to affect the taste of your dish. The white can be a bit bitter. I always recommend using a microplane because that way you're only getting the outside of the skin of the orange and you won't get any of the white part. And the rind of the orange is where you get all the flavor. See how we're microplaning, but the orange, we're just getting the surface of the orange. That is exactly what you want. And we're gonna do that to all 3 oranges. So now we've zested all our oranges. We're gonna massage the zest into our sugar. That's gonna release all the oils in the orange skin and flavor our sugar, and it's gonna add more flavor to our orange cake overall. What we end up with is this beautiful yellow sugar, orange sugar, and it smells divine like oranges. And now we need to juice our oranges, and we're gonna add it in to our butter and cornstarch. So we juiced our oranges, and it roughly gave me 300 ml or almost 1.5 cups. I just want you to have an idea of how much you should end up with, because depending on the size of your orange, it's going to give you different amounts. Not that it really matters. You just want 3 big oranges and it should be fine. Now we're going to add it to our butter and cornstarch mixture and mix it up. And the butter and cornstarch mixture has cooled down. And you don't want your oranges in the fridge. You want them at room temperature also, because then that can affect when you add it to the warm butter, and if the orange is cold, it's gonna curdle your butter a bit, and we don't want that. You always wanna work with room temperature ingredients. So I've added the orange juice to the butter mixture, and you end up with a nice, smooth consistency. You don't want any lumps in this. So now we're gonna add in our eggs to to our sugar and orange rind mixture. And as always, you just break your egg into a separate bowl and then add it in. So we're just breaking up our eggs and mixing it in. We do not want to beat the eggs in any way. We just want to break them up and mix everything in. We don't want the eggs to start foaming. That point, you've already gone a bit too far. So we're just mixing and breaking them up. So we just want to mix everything in, break up the egg whites. You see how like the egg whites are here. You want to break that up. There we are. See, we're looking for this. No remaining egg whites whole. And we're ready. So now we have our jelly roll pan and a piece of parchment paper, and I'm just going to use a bit of butter. I'm just going to butter the corners a bit so that the parchment paper stays put. You can also just use baking spray and spray it. Our cake will not touch the pan, so we don't have to worry about how much butter we're putting down. Okay, so now we are going to pour our mixture into our, and now it goes into our preheated oven at 350 for 20 minutes. We're gonna start checking at about 15 to 18 minutes to see how it's doing, but 20 minutes should be okay. It depends on your oven. You want it to have like a golden color. So it's been 20 minutes and our orange tort or our orange cake roll is out of the oven, torta de laranja. And now I want you to have a good, like I just took it out, it's still hot. Let me pause. We are going to, so on the counter, I have my pastry mat and I have some parchment paper. Traditionally, a towel is used, and you would put sugar on the towel, and then you put the roll on top of the sugar towel. I find the sugar just adds more to the cake, which the cake really doesn't need. So I'm using parchment paper. You want to be quick and decisive when you do this. No fear, just flip it over. We're gonna be quick and no fear and flip it over and everything will be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and flip it over. We have to do it while the roll is still, while the orange cake is still hot. Here we go, wish me luck. We want to have it at this end so then we have time, we have enough room to roll it. So have a good grip. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. All right, so now let's lift it up. And that went a little too far. That is okay. I'm gonna try to reposition it, and it's hot, so let me see if I can drag it. Yes. All right, so here we have it. And let's peel our paper off. So now we're gonna peel the paper off. It should come right off. Ooh, look how beautiful it looks, guys. And the smell is divine. So our paper should come here. It's lifting a little bit. That is okay. There we have it. Look how beautiful. We have here, it lifted up a little bit, but that's okay. And it's still steamy. And now we need to roll it. To roll it, we're just gonna bend it a little bit here, like this. And we're gonna, you wanna keep it tight, and you're just gonna guide your paper and roll it. And it's breaking like that. Roll. You see how it's rolling? I'm keeping it tight and rolling. Should go in here a bit. When you get to the end, you roll it in like this. See? Now, we're gonna roll the ends in like a bonbon. See it like this. It is still quite hot. And now we're going to let it cool. And I just like to transfer it back to here. So it maintains its shape, like so. So now we're going to let it cool completely before we unmold it. And I just like to keep it in the pan that we just baked it in so it can keep its shape like so. You can let it cool for a little bit and then put it in the fridge, but it needs to come to room temperature before we unmold it so it doesn't fall apart. So I'll see you back here when it's completely at room temperature. Our orange roll is completely cooled and now it is time for us to plate. We are going to unmold. Here comes the moment of truth. Well, let's see. Smells delicious. So I just had a taste and wow, the flavor is incredible. And it is a moist orange roll cake. So it's a wet cake, almost like a pudding-like texture. See, it's really moist, really tender. You see the slice over here. Very delicious. So, for decorations, I have some candied oranges, some pistachios, and some pomegranate seeds. You could also just dust it with some icing sugar and serve it like that. But I think with the candied orange slices, and I'm gonna insert a video of how I did the candied orange slices. To make the candied orange slices, you're going to need half a cup of water and 1 cup of sugar. Melt the sugar in the water, and once the sugar is melted, you add your orange slices. Then you're going to cook your orange slices for about 8 to 10 minutes on one side. And when you start to see the outside of the rind turning a darker color, like here, you can see they're getting dark. You want to turn them and you're going to go for another 8 to 10 minutes. And it's going to start caramelizing. And when they get to this point, it's been about 8 to 10 minutes, you're going to remove them and put them on a drying rack. And you're going to let them dry overnight. At least give them 24 hours or so, and they're going to dry out nicely, and you can use them for your desserts. I think it just looks a bit prettier. And then the pistachios, so you have the orange, the red, and the green, kind of Christmassy. So let's decorate our torte. So just putting this orange slices like so. And if you can bend them a little bit and mold it around the torte. So, and then put our pomegranate seeds. And our pistachios. And now comes the most difficult part of it all. Well, flipping it was a little bit difficult. Let's have a taste. It's super moist, almost like a pudding-like consistency. The orange taste is amazing. It's not overly sweet, and it's been in the fridge, so it's really refreshing. And as you can tell, I can't stop eating it. I highly recommend you make this dessert. It's an incredible orange cake roll that will look stunning on your Christmas Day table. I hope you liked this video. Let me know if you make it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I post my next recipe. Hope to see you again soon, and thanks for watching. Bye.